We have some big news that just came out 50 minutes ago on Seek and Alpha. We have the top 20 electric vehicles in the world sold for the first half of 2020. We see the Tesla Model 3 crushing competition. Hey, Anthony Pietrobono here, back with another investing video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some big Tesla news that has come out and the 10 catalysts that I see for the stock moving forward over the next 3 to 12 months. And give this video a thumbs up if you appreciate it. Before we dive into the video, a very quick portfolio update. We are at 582,000 in this account. In the last month, we have gone from 548,000 to 582,000, about a $34,000 gain in 1 month. In the last quarter, we went from 300,000 to 582,000, so that's looking at 282,000 in gains. And in the last year, we went from 127,000 to 582,000. So we're looking at over $450,000 in gains in 1 year. Now, I have consistently contributed to this account, so this isn't purely from stock gains. This stock portfolio is 100% Tesla. I own 275 Tesla shares. Now, Tesla went up 13% yesterday and another 4% today, Thursday, August 13th. This is on the news of the 5-for-1 stock split. A 5-for-1 stock split changes nothing with the company. All it does is whoever owns shares of the company will now have 5 times more shares, and the stock price will be divided by 5. So if the stock is $1,500 by the time of the split, then it'll now become $300, and whoever owns 1 share will now have 5 shares. If you own 100 shares, you'll now own 500 shares. Now you'd be saying, why is the stock up so much on this news? There's 2 big reasons. The first big reason is after the stock split, there's a lot of retail investors who are now going to have enough money to invest in the stock, and this has been a problem with the past. Tesla is also one of the highest retail traded stocks. A lot of Robinhood investors, a lot of people who don't have enough money to afford the $1,600 per share price. So a lot of institutional investors can buy on this. Also, a lot of swing traders and day traders will buy on this news, again, hoping to get the gain before the stock split and after the stock split, because they will be assuming that they can get in and out quickly, just holding the stock for a few weeks, because the stock will be split officially August 31st on market open, which is a Monday. So a lot of day traders and swing traders will buy the stock now, hold it until a few days after the stock is split, see that bump in price from now also until the after period where the retail investors buy into it, and then they could sell out. What could happen here is, if this is true, where a lot of short-term traders are getting in the stock now to ride that wave and take quick profits, then when the stock is actually split, we could see the stock dip and have a good sell-off, which would not make sense to us, but it would make sense because Tesla is a highly swing traded and day traded stock. So a lot of people want to get in that on that momentum. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's a possible reality that you have to consider. The second biggest reason why the stock is so much with the split is because of the fact that it confirms the S&P 500 inclusion and potential Dow Jones inclusion. Currently, in the Dow Jones, Apple is the largest company in there in terms of share price. Apple has a $460 a share price. Now, all the other stocks are ranging from $50 a share to $300 a share. If Tesla now does a 5-for-1 split, their stock price is around the 300s. The Dow Jones could now add in Tesla because they don't want their weighting to be so large. The larger the share price, the larger the weighting in the Dow Jones. So that's a new speculation of news that came out where they could potentially be added into the Dow Jones. Second, with that, it gives even more confidence in the addition of the S&P 500, because one of the biggest issues was that there wouldn't be enough shares and the S&P 500 would have to buy a lot of shares. Meanwhile, Tesla would need to offer more shares to go ahead and have those liquid to be purchased, to be added in. A lot of funds need to buy the stock. So the stock split can add even more of that, because there'll be more people coming into the stock, more sellers and buyers, which could potentially add even more liquidity, which gives the S&P 500 the ability and the funds the ability to buy more shares. So that gives more confidence in the addition in the near term of the S&P 500. Those are the 3 biggest reasons why the stock is up massively and not just up a little bit. The retail investors buying in later on, the Dow Jones potential inclusion now, and S&P 500 gained confidence in the ability to be added in. Whereas a lot of people were saying Tesla may not get added in because they were only profitable by the ZEV credits, the EV credits that they got from fiat. Now we finished covering the near-term news that drove the stock price up yesterday and today, a total of 17 or 18% in the span of 2 days. Let's go over into the upcoming catalysts for this Tesla stock and why I'm buying more shares and why I continue to buy more shares. My current target now is to buy 25 more shares by the end of the year. and I plan on buying even more shares each month as the years go on. And you might be asking, why would I buy so many shares if the stock is up so much already? Well, because I truly believe the company is undervalued given how much potential is coming in the next just 12 months. So we're gonna go over the 10 total catalysts. We went over the first one, the 5-for-1 stock split. The second one is the S&P 500 inclusion. This could occur in the next 1 to 4 weeks. And when we see this, we could see an additional spike in 10 or 20% just on this news alone. Because like I said, there's a lot of mutual funds, a lot of funds who would have to buy this company as it gets included into the S&P 500, which will further drive the stock price up. About a month ago, Reuters came out with an article discussing the comparison to Tesla's inclusion with Yahoo's inclusion in the past, saying that Yahoo jumped 64% in the 5 sessions between the announcement of the S&P 500 inclusion and the actual entry. So they're essentially predicting that Tesla could have something similar occur. Now, 64% is absolutely insane, and we're not going to assume that, but it's safe to assume that Tesla could see a 10 to 20% rise in the 5 sessions between the announcement of the inclusion of the S&P 500 and the day it's actually included. We know that the board meets once a month to allow companies to be in and taken out of the S&P 500. This would put the timeline counting down for inclusion announcement happening in the next 2 weeks. However, we can't bank on this because who knows actually what's going to happen. They may not be included whatsoever. However, this is another potential catalyst that I believe will actually occur in the next 2 weeks. And when it does occur, I also believe the stock will go up an additional 10 to 20% in the next 5 trading days after it's announced. We have some big news that just came out 50 minutes ago on Seeking Alpha. We have the top 20 electric vehicles in the world sold for the first half of 2020. We see the Tesla Model 3 crushing competition at 142,346 sales just in the first 6 months of 2020. We have the Renault Zoe at 37,000 units sold, second place. Nissan Leaf, and then it goes down the list. In the first 6 months of the year, the Tesla Model 3 sold the same volume as number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 combined. And that the competitors are lower cost, meaning that dollar amount is far more when it comes to counting Tesla sales as the rest. This just shows the pure sheer dominance currently that Tesla has. We discussed Dow Jones potential inclusion ability. That's the third catalyst. The fourth catalyst is battery day. And in my opinion, this is the largest catalyst that is coming up for Tesla. September 22nd, they're holding their battery day, and it's also the shareholders meeting day. On battery day, in my opinion, based on my research, I believe 2 big things will be announced. Number 1, they will have the million-mile battery, where they'll have a battery that lasts 1 million miles. And typically, most ICE vehicles, combustion vehicles, could last up to 500,000 miles, more like 300,000 to 500,000 miles. And we're seeing that a battery could come out where it lasts 1 million miles. The biggest reason why they want this, why Tesla wants this, is for the abilities for the robo-taxi fleet. Because no one actually needs a car to last 1 million miles unless it's being driven all day like a robo-taxi. And we're not even going to talk about robo-taxis in this video, but that is also another catalyst that will come later on. The million-mile battery will be double the length of time, essentially saying your car will last at least twice as long as most ICE vehicles. If you drive a ton and you drive 50,000 miles each year, that's going to last you 20 years. No one buys a brand new car and keeps that car for 20 years, but you can with this Tesla if you don't put it out for a robo-taxi. If you use it as a robo-taxi, it's going to last half the time or less. Could last 8 to 10 years. The second announcement that I believe they'll have is that Tesla will be creating their own cobalt-free batteries. Because of the acquisition they had with Maxwell Technologies back 1 or 2 years ago, they have more energy-dense batteries, meaning they're going to have batteries that are, number 1, cobalt-free, and number 2, they're going to be able to have a greater charge within a smaller battery pack. So they'll be able to put smaller battery packs in their cars that will last longer, essentially saying you're going to have the same range with the smaller battery. The battery is the thing that costs the most. So they're going to be drastically reducing their costs, which means they can drastically reduce the price of their cars, which means they'll have infinite demand. They already have infinite demand, so they could just increase their profit margins, but we understand that Tesla and Elon Musk came out and he said that he wants to keep the company minimally profitable, and he wants to scale and allow as many people as possible to buy the vehicles. So when they come out with that news, they're going to be slashing their prices, they're going to have infinite demand, and they're going to undercut all competition. Next up, Elon predicted level 5 autonomy by the end of the year. Level 5 autonomy is the ability to essentially have a driverless car, be able to do everything on the streets. We take this one with a grain of salt because Elon's been promising level 5 autonomy each year for the last few years. So in my opinion, I'm taking this one with a grain of salt. I'm still like, all right, let's see how it happens. However, I am a little hopeful that it will be at least fully autonomous by the end of 2021. And then I do believe we can see some robo-taxis in terms of driverless vehicles by 2023. I truly believe that. By 2023, we will see driverless vehicles taking people places. The biggest reason why I think level 5 autonomy by 2021 is a massive catalyst is because Tesla will be the first company to have the most superior autonomous vehicle software, which will, again, prove that Tesla is the leader, not only in electric vehicles, but in autonomous driving. And once people understand that, hey, Tesla is not joking around, they're the leader in this, they're the leader in this, they're the leader in this, and everyone comes to the realization that Tesla is seriously the leader in multiple areas, then there's a massive switch where people will buy into the company. And there's a ton of doubters still out there around the company. And that's great, because when there's a ton of doubters out there, then there's more people to be persuaded to basically believe in the company. And when they believe in the company, more people buy the stock, which drives the price up more, which means there's more room to run for the stock in the near term. Now, all this news I just discussed is all happening in the next 2 weeks to 4 months. Let's talk about the next catalysts that are coming in the future. There's going to be 3 factories completed by 2021. We have the Shanghai extension that is about to be completed by the end of 2020, start of 2021, where they're going to be selling Model Ys in China at scale. And that part is bigger than the Model 3 production. The Model 3 production in China already scaled to 150,000 Model 3s sold each year. Model Y production is going to be even greater than that. Then we have Giga Berlin, which is set to be completed by the beginning of 2021, which is absolutely insane, and it's unprecedented speed for factory completion. We have Giga Austin that was just announced a few weeks ago, and they're already doing insane progress, and they're already accomplishing insane progress. We're going to see them completed in 2021, and that's going to be the largest factory. Giga Berlin is the second largest factory. Shanghai is the third largest factory, and Giga Shanghai is massive. We're going to see an extra 500,000 vehicles from each factory coming out by the end of 2021. We're looking at another 1.5 million vehicles in production added to Tesla's current 690,000 vehicle production that they currently have. Currently, Tesla's EV US market share is 83%. We take a look at the charts here. We see each model of electric vehicles sold in the US by quarter, by year. Tesla Model 3, just look at the chart there. It just came out 2017 Q3. It is a hockey stick, straight up 300,000 vehicles sold. Let's look at who is second. We have the Chevy Volt, 150,000 units. The Chevy Volt ties the Tesla Model S. The same amount of Chevrolet Volts have been sold as Tesla Model S's. Meanwhile, the Chevrolet Volt came out 1 year before the Tesla Model S, and the Tesla Model S is more than double the price. Now, if we take a look at all of 2019, we see the EV sales. Right here, this chart says it all. We have the Toyota Prius at 23,000, Tesla Model X at 19, the Bolt at 16,000, and the Model S at 14,000. Model 3 absolutely dominates the market. Now, there's 3 Tesla vehicles that I just named there, and they total 83% of the market in the US in the year of 2019. There is over a 40% EV share in Europe, and there isn't even a factory completed in Europe yet. In 2019, the Model 3 was the best-selling EV in the world. The entire world, it was the best-selling EV of 2019, and it will be again in 2020. Another stat, the Tesla Model 3 is the top-selling EV in China. The factory was just completed 8 months ago. and they've already penetrated to that level, being the top selling EV in China. Model 3 production was the greatest out of all EVs in China at 12,500 in 1 month, which is 3 times higher than the second best plug-in model. Now, there's a few honorable mentions I can add in. The fact that Tesla is the only company to have successfully mastered over-the-air software updates. But these are the reasons why I'm still buying the stock. These are the reasons why I believe the company is still undervalued. And based on what I see just coming in the next 1 to 12 months. Not to mention the solar side of the company. We're not even going to go there. But hey, Elon says the solar company will be as big as the automotive company. These are the reasons why I continue to buy Tesla stock. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to go out and buy the stock, but I'm just sharing the reasons why I see the stock continuing to trend up in the next 12 months. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more financial education videos just like this one, more stock breakdowns and my portfolio updates, and I'll see you in the next video.